For ages, mankind has attempted to extract the fathomless energy of the sun. Far more vast than any atom bomb, its possibilities are known to be limitless. When Sola, the girl scientist, finally unleashes its awesome power, she plans to enslave all men to women and form a world ruled by females. Only Moon Girl and her magic moonstone stand between Sola and her mad ambitions, and Moon Girl herself is in danger of becoming one more of the slaves to the sun. A fishing schooner pitches in the trough of storm-tossed waves.
A ship to the starboard side! It will toss us a line!
But instead of a line, a brilliant beam of power flashes through the murk.
Hey, what is that thing?
Whatever it is, it smashed our rudder. We're helpless.
That ship is filled with girls!
They look like pirates all ready to board us.
Like enraged panthers, the girls with the strange device on their tunics attack.
Bow to the sun, you men!
What?
The sun is all-powerful!
Hey!
Lift the slaves aboard! See that they are comfortable for the return voyage, and then destroy their vessel so none will find it.
A vivid explosion rends the sky, and after that, only the silence of the sea as the fishing boat begins to sink. Miles away, outside the Raleigh Junior High School lecture hall,
The prince promised he'd be back in time for the lecture. I can't understand it, but I can't wait any longer.
hours later, a worried Claire Loon frantically works on her moonplane, trying to forget her worry.
Something happened to him. I know it. I know it. He's never failed to meet me before, but I mustn't think about that. I have to finish this work on the moonplane. I'll touch the moonstone to the viewing screen. The magic vibrations of the moonstone will reveal the prince to me.
Moon Girl cries out in amazement, for as she places the moonstone to the screen stays blank.
I can't believe it. The screen has never failed me before. Now I know there is something wrong, and it's up to Moon Girl to discover what it is.
Seconds later, the moonplane lifts from the open garage roof.
If I find the prince, it will have to be with Venus's help.
On Sun Island, the prince and the other men from the fishing smack face Sola in her throne room.
You'll never get away with this mad scheme. Moon Girl will seek and find you.
You are wrong, Prince. No one can stop Sola. But to make sure, we will put you where Moon Girl and her magic moonstone will not be able to find you. Take him away, girls.
For a brief moment, the prince struggles frantically, but overwhelming numbers overcome him.
Can't fight. So many of them.
You see how foolish it is to oppose Sola?
Moon Girl will find me. I know she will.
Just as lead blankets the rays that radium gives off, so they will blanket the searching rays of the moonstone. Moon Girl will never find you.
Sola is a fine prophetess. At that moment,
No sign of him. I've hunted everywhere. The prince. Gone. Never see him again. You've always helped me, my moonstone. But now, when I need your help the most, you failed me. Wait, perhaps it can't show me the prince, but it might show me the danger that threatens him.
as the moonstone slips into its niche in the screen's frame, the screen lights up, glows, shows a strange scene.
Men in chains, like slaves. I didn't see the prince, but he must be there. That pounding surf shows it's near the sea. I'll circle over the ocean. Somewhere out here I'll sight that seawall the men slaves were building.
Ahead of the moonplane, off the coast of Sun Island, an underwater fort lies hidden beneath the surging waves.
A strange plane. It looks like pictures I've seen of the moon plane.
That means Moon Girl is searching for the prince. Give us the bearing. We'll fire.
With the force of a battering ram, a giant column of water hits the moonplane. It turns over and over. Moon Girl loses control as her plane shudders under the terrific impact. At that moment, on Sun Island,
I have summoned you slaves before me. Soon I will be ready to attack Washington. My machines and weapons are all ready. If you work hard, you shall be rewarded. Destiny picked me to free womankind from the shackles of the male. I discovered a way to harness solar energy. My engines are powered by the sun, greatest of all forces. Not only my engines, but my weapons as well, are sun-powered. I shall attack Washington and destroy it. All women will rise at my call. We will establish a government of women, first in America, then in the rest of the world.
Bah, you're mad. Moon Girl will.
Sola! Our sea fort has geysered the moon plane. Moon Girl has been destroyed!
What?
Miles away, Moon Girl fights for consciousness as her plane sinks in the ocean depths.
The impact knocked me out, but there's still a chance, if I can reach the controls. There. Now to see if the work I did will pay off by saving my life.
How can throwing a lever over in her moonplane save Moon Girl's life? Or has the shock of her dilemma shattered her mind? Slowly, the wings of the plane fold in, a rudder and propeller slide out, and the moonplane becomes a submarine. The long hours of toil have paid off for Moon Girl. The submarine approaches the island. Carefully, Moon Girl studies the rocky coasts, finds a sheltered spot, and lands.
My first task is to find the prince.
Moving so swiftly that she seems a disembodied spirit, Moon Girl discovers the grim lead cell.
Moon Girl, they said you were dead.
A slight exaggeration, Prince. While I rip this cell open, tell me what's going on around these parts.
Her weapons are based on solar power. The sun generators are stored in those low buildings ahead.
Then I have to smash them, while you gather the men slaves for an attack. That giant prism must store up solar rays and feed it to the motors.
Like a giant hand, great heat waves burst on Moon Girl, flinging her back helpless, almost blinded.
Oh, I can't stand that heat. It's shriveling me, burning me. I'll never be able to reach that prism.
At that moment, the men slaves led by the prince attack the solar mistresses.
Victory is ours! Moon Girl fights with us!
They're crazy!
Blast them down!
Moon Girl failed. They still have their sun weapons.
Ugh!
Staggering blindly, Moon Girl lurches forward toward the blazing prism. Her moonstone glitters coldly, feeding strength to her.
Venus, cool me. Guard me, Moonstone.
High over her head, she swings the sun-powered jewel and throws it. Outside,
The beam guns won't shoot. Moon Girl has smashed the power.
Now we'll show 'em!
Arise, slaves, arise!
That blast would have killed me if it hadn't been for my Moonstone. Sola will escape in a plane. I'm nearest to her. But I have so little strength left. So little strength. Jupiter, help me. Fill my limbs with strength, oh my Moonstone. I must overtake Sola.
energy fills the Moon Maid. On winged feet, she leaps after Sola.
I'll strike again, Moon Girl. You'll never get me.
Great Saturn, aid me. Let me hold this plane long enough to smash it. Ah! This is the end of the trail, Sola.
Oh!
The threat of the Sun Maidens is over.
There's only one person who could have done it. Moon Girl.